Unit 731, The Forgotten Horror. There are events in human history so horrifying that they seem impossible. Crimes so monstrous that even those who committed them preferred to erase them from memory. One of the darkest of these stories is Unit 731, a secret Japanese military facility where thousands of people were subjected to some of the most inhumane experiments ever recorded. This is not a myth. This is real, a secret that was never supposed to be revealed. In 1936, deep in Japanese-occupied China, a facility was built under the guise of a medical research center. Officially, it was meant to fight epidemics. In reality, it was a biological weapons laboratory, a place where human lives were sacrificed in the name of science and warfare. Prisoners brought here were no longer considered people. They were called logs, a dehumanizing term used by the researchers to justify their actions. Between 3,000 and 12,000 men, women, and even children entered this facility. None of them left alive. Experiments that defy belief. Inside Unit 731, humans were used as test subjects for some of the most horrific experiments imaginable. They were deliberately infected with deadly diseases, plague, cholera, anthrax, just to observe how long it took for them to die. Once their condition worsened, they were dissected alive, without anesthesia, so the scientists could study the progression of the infection. Others were subjected to freezing experiments, left outside in the snow, doused with water, their limbs frozen solid. Some were then thawed to test different revival methods, while others had their dead limbs sawed off for further study. Unit 731 also tested new weapons, strapping prisoners to poles and detonating grenades nearby, measuring the blast radius. Others were burned with flamethrowers, their charred bodies examined for research. In another room, subjects were locked inside vacuum chambers, slowly suffocating as scientists recorded every detail of their deaths. And then there were the starvation experiments, where prisoners were given only seawater to drink, their bodies slowly shutting down as the researchers noted the effects. These were not random acts of cruelty. They were calculated, methodical, and systematic. Who were the victims? Most of the test subjects were Chinese civilians, but among them were Russians, Koreans, Mongolians, and even American prisoners of war. No matter who they were, their fate was the same. The secret deal that buried the truth. By the end of World War II, Japan knew it was about to lose. The leaders of Unit 731 realized that if their crimes were exposed, they would face execution. So they destroyed the facility, burned the documents, and killed any surviving prisoners. And yet, none of the scientists who ran Unit 731 were ever punished. Unlike the Nazi doctors who were put on trial in Nuremberg, the scientists of Unit 731 were granted complete immunity. Why? Because the United States offered them a deal, their freedom in exchange for their research. The same men who once carried out inhuman experiments on thousands later went on to hold respected positions in medicine and science. They lived long, successful lives. Not one of them faced justice. Why does no one talk about it? You might be wondering, if this really happened, why is it rarely discussed? The truth is simple, because some crimes are too inconvenient to acknowledge. If Unit 731 was allowed to escape justice once, could similar experiments still be happening somewhere today? What else is the world hiding? Unit 731 is one of history's darkest secrets, proof of what happens when science and ethics are separated. What do you think? Which experiment horrified you the most? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to uncover more hidden truths, subscribe. Because history doesn't forget, it just waits to be rediscovered.